We're gonna see how we do. It didn't pop out though, so that sucks. All right, gotta figure that out. Oh, there it is. There's the old live. Okay. We're about to get started. Bear with us. Can everybody hear us? That's what we need to know first and foremost. Can you hear us? Make sure we're not echoing. Make sure we sound good. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Make sure we don't. All right. Welcome in, everybody. We are about to get started. Ohio, Vincent. Yeah, man. Y'all have been on a tear. I have no idea where that was all season long. I don't have a clue, but y'all are on a damn tear. I mean, y'all have a really good shot. I didn't like y'all's game against Texas, though. It was too close, man. Texas wasn't, y'all are better than, I thought y'all were better than that, but y'all won. That's all that matters, man. Texas does have a stud defense. Give me a second here. Yo, can y'all hear me all right out there? Make sure, like I said, we're setting up a new computer, new PC. We want to make sure, everybody can hear us. That's all. All right. Here we go. Well, so we have a national champion set up, like a championship. So it is Ohio State versus the Golden Domers. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie. I've got to root for Ohio State. I've got it, Vincent. I'm with you, bro. I got to root for Ohio State, man. I have to. I cannot root for Notre Dame. I'm not a Notre Dame guy. I like Marcus Freeman, though. I mean, I like Marcus Freeman. I have nothing against Marcus Freeman. Good coach. The way he's got him right in the fray, man. Notre Dame has been absolutely dog water for years and years. But yeah, hopefully we get more of us. And like I said, we're trying to work with visuals and try to get everything set back up on a new PC. So hopefully we're able to do that and get it going. Let's see here. Let's do this. There we go. We're live and in color. Good. Got to see if Kias shows up tonight. My boy Kias. Yeah, anyway, like I said, Riddle will be back on in a second, and then we're going to get fired up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Interesting to see the off season. Like, so obviously spending money is the thing now. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, it's legal. I just mean like spending money. That's what we need to be doing if we're going to compete. All right. We got Riddle back. All right. What's up, buddy? Okay. Riddle, if you don't mind.
Everything set up here.
Yeah, if you don't mind, pull it up real quick and make sure we are not echoing. Vincent has commented to me, hey, Kias. There, I got Kias. Never mind. You don't have to do nothing. Kias, are we echoing? Can you hear us loud and clear? Hear us loud and clear. It's a damn miracle. Is it echoing still?
Yeah.
It's a damn miracle. Is it echoing still?
Yeah. It's a damn bad.
Oh my God.
Is it echoing still?
Oh.
Yeah. It's a damn bad.
Vincent said he doesn't have an echo. Oh, now it is. I was just talking to him. He said there was no echo. Vincent, is there an echo right now? Can you hear an echo? That's all I want to know. Fuck. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh, Kia says we're not echoing, and Vincent said we're not echoing. So maybe it was just because he had your. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We completely changed platforms. We have completely I've changed computers, so we are on a brand new computer trying to figure all this out. So bear with us. We'll do some visuals tonight like we did in the past. It takes us back to our old days. Yeah, Courtney said she didn't like the one I made the other day. She said it looks Mario-ish. I'm like, what? It's red and black. I mean, what's Mario? I mean, I guess. Oh, my mouth is off from my voice.
Mhm.
Really? Huh. Okay. So we're going to have to figure this out now. Damn. Who we got winning the Natty? Probably going to roll with Ohio State.
The safe bet's Ohio State for sure.
Let's see here. Okay.
I mean, Texas played better than I thought they would. That's for sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I can see what Kias is saying. It must be the way it's capturing the camera. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
My camera looks blurry on TikTok, but on Discord it looks fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Let me try to do this with Discord. Let me try to do a Discord image. Hold on, let me do this. Okay, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna go over here. We're gonna turn on the camera on Discord if it'll work. It probably won't. And it will not. Yeah, freaking heck. I don't know. This is so frustrating. Jordan said Notre Dame. Oh man, y'all think you look a bit blurry on mine too, Riddle. Okay.
Yeah, it's just on the TikTok feed. The Discord feed, it looks fine. I've got it pulled up on my TV over here.
All right.
But for some reason on the TikTok it's blurry.
Oh, okay. I know why. Hold on. I did this wrong. That's what it is. Nope, wrong. Voicemail. There we go. All right, give me a second. I'm trying to work on the Riddler. If we can get him figured out, we'll be fine. Then I got to work on me. All right, so let me take this off. Y'all bear with us. Like I said, it's going to be some visuals, but revenge for last year. Man. Yeah, loser of Northern Illinois versus Notre Dame against the loser of Michigan versus Ohio State playing for the national title. Oh, well. It's a crazy day. It is a crazy day, but you got to like where they're at right now. They're playing for the title. All right, let me see here. Okay, turning that off. You're off, Riddle, so give me a second. Gotta find this. That looks clearer. Maybe. Yeah, I can't do any of this when I'm by myself.
It's gonna be really funny is if Tony pops in.
That's all right. We got
absolutely. Always go Dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
there was just something about that team this year. They never could make it all click. Even the games they won, their most complete game, I think you'd have to say, was against Tennessee. But that Carson Beck news that came out today, that was pretty interesting. And I saw it. When you watch teams like we do when we watch our teams, like you see these things, and I said for weeks on the podcast that something just seemed off, and now it comes out that there were locker room issues with surrounding Carson Beck, and that's why I said in the SEC championship game when Gunnar Stockton came in, it was just the reaction from the team, from the coaches, from everybody. You could tell that they wanted Gunnar in the game. So I'm not surprised that news came out today.
And we haven't talked about anything really because you've been sick and everything. But I think Gunnar was a breath of fresh air in the SEC title game. You were right. He was not ready for the stage. He kind of got shut down, but I mean, the whole team got shut down really. But
well, I mean, it's a testament to Texas's defense, the way they played against Ohio State. Like they kept it close, and
yeah,
I mean, they had a chance late to tie that game up.
Yeah.
He did what he needed to do. He let him down the field on 3 scoring drives. I was happy with it. I think against Notre Dame, he played fantastic. He had more passing yards than Notre Dame had offense, so it definitely wasn't on him the reason we lost to Notre Dame. It was on the offensive line in the run game. We couldn't run the ball. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we've talked about that all year. Okay, I got to match my mouth to my face according to Kias. So
Jordan, I agree. They do have a defense that can keep them in that game. The problem is, I don't think Notre Dame has the offense to score on Ohio State. To be honest, I mean, I think they will, obviously, but I don't. They're not going to be able to score enough. Riley Leonard has really been I would love to know the percentage of the offense that he has for them. And I know Love, he's had a good postseason here in the last half of the season, but Riley Leonard makes that offense go. And I mean, he was at Duke and came over. But they do have a great defense. The defense can make some plays. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Ohio State's offense is far better than Georgia's. They have a better offensive line. They have better running backs. They have better receivers. So do not compare this game to the Georgia game.
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on I don't know why mine's so delayed. I'd have to completely restart to get my camera going. So I don't know what to do there. I don't know why this is happening all of a sudden. So it's kind of weird, but we'll look at it.
Oh, I mean, we can break it down. I can tell you exactly how much Leonard's been cooking.
Yeah, Leonard's been. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, might as well just talk while I'm working on this. We haven't been live in a while. I mean, in terms of like actually talking football. So, a lot's went on. A lot.
Yeah, so he had 231 total yards and 2 touchdowns against Indiana in the first round, which is good. Don't get me wrong. See, let's pull up the Georgia game. He had 90 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 80 yards rushing, so 170 total yards and a touchdown against Georgia.
Figure out why this is so delayed. I mean, he's playing ball. I mean, playing really good ball.
Again, I mean, the key to the Georgia game was they didn't turn the ball over, and Georgia did. Yeah. The fumble deep in Notre Dame territory that led to the turnover there. That was huge. Cost us points. The penalty on the sideline ended up costing us points. That was a huge moment in that game. And then obviously the sack fumble there that led to the one offensive touchdown that they scored on Georgia.
I mean, Georgia's defense is that was a battle of defenses anyway. That was the
right. And Notre Dame forced the 2 turnovers, and that was the difference. But yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him. But against Georgia, he only had 90 yards passing. That's not going to beat Ohio State.
No.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. That's not going to beat Ohio State. And then he only had 35 yards rushing, and Jeremiah Love only had 45 yards rushing against Penn State. That's not going to beat Ohio State.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. I don't know what to do. Hell, it's pissing me off now. Okay, so you go ahead.
I'll say this: the one thing on Notre Dame that worried me, that was worrisome in the Penn State game.
Hello.
After watching the Georgia game, which Georgia's offensive line all year has been hit or miss, and Notre Dame's defense couldn't get to Aller. They only had one sack, and that kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought they were going to put a lot more pressure on him. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't spectacular. I mean, they held him to 135 yards passing and the one interception. That was a huge interception, but they did give up over 200 yards rushing. But yeah, I just don't.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough. Ryan Day's coaching for his job.
Yeah, but he's secured it now. It's secure. Yeah. This dude.
It was after the Michigan loss.
If he would have been exited out, I promise you, it would not have been a joke. It would have been a legit Ohio State.
I mean, that was Ohio State fans were talking about, after that loss to Michigan, that they were going to have to beat Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and win a national title to save his job. Well, they beat Tennessee, Oregon, and Texas now. So,
yeah, I guess he got the memo. It looks like it's working now, Kias. Looks like I'm not. That's what I was talking about, guys. We changed some computers around, and
Jordan, again, you're comparing things that cannot be compared. Ohio State's got the best receivers in the nation, and Penn State does not. Penn State has the best tight end in the nation.
Jeremiah Smith is the best wide receiver in the nation.
Yeah, and
I mean it's Mbuke or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he's good too.
I mean, he's a stud too.
Yeah, it's just Jeremiah Smith has completely turned into what we thought he was going to be already. I mean, it took no time at all for him to just take off and run, and he looks dominant. But we are locked, loaded, and goaded. There's two of us. Everybody else is off doing other things. Maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. It's okay. Me and Riddle are here to talk some football with you guys. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started into today's podcast. And Riddle kind of already jumped on it. We talked about Georgia. We talked about the semifinals. Well, we haven't talked about the semifinals. We talked about Georgia, really. Nothing to talk about as far as Alabama goes because we didn't make it. So, but Riddle, what did you think? What did you think about Ohio State and Texas? We had a guy in here earlier, and basically it was like, Ohio State, big Ohio State fan. They did not look dominant against Texas defense. I explained to him Texas defense is loaded. It's stacked. It's a stacked defense. They're good. What did you think? I mean, Ohio State looked vulnerable in that game, but I mean, still looked pretty dominating.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was they absolutely rolled over Tennessee. They absolutely embarrassed Oregon, and it's hard to do that 2 times in a row, much less to do it a third time against a really good team. But I mean, they had 370 total yards. Texas defense bent at times, but they never broke. I thought they played incredible. And then of course the strip sack fumble return for a touchdown for 83 yards was the dagger.
Yeah.
And they gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter, in a 28-14 loss. But
yeah, it was honestly like if that forced fumble, like it looked like Texas was going to try to steal some momentum back, and I mean, they took care of business.
And the crazy thing is, we were talking about the receivers for Ohio State in that game. Texas did a good job of limiting them guys. Egbuka had 5 for 51, and Smith had 1 for 3. But Carnell Tate had 7 for 87.
Yeah.
And then Travion Henderson had the 1 for 75 and a touchdown right before the half. So
I'll just say this, and this is the way Ohio State was supposed to play all year long. This is how they were supposed to play. This is what that money paid for. It's like putting an all-pro team out there, and they're finally starting to gel together. And you could see that. Like we were questioning their O-line. That was the one question we had on Ohio State. Everything else was pretty solid. And Will Howard's played awesome. The O-line has came together and played well. And honestly, the 2 wins before the Texas, I mean, it was absolute dominance, and we did not expect that. We did not expect that. Go ahead.
And I was just going to say, after that loss to Michigan, I really thought this team was never going to gel, and then they go in and they had the home game against Tennessee, beat the piss out of them. And then I was still like, okay, they still got to play Oregon in Pasadena. And then they destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is the team. This is what we thought we were going to see all year. Yes, they can be beat.
Yes.
Texas shut down the run game. 24 carries for 81 yards is all Ohio State had against them. But I'll tell you what, I have to give it to Will Howard because in a moment where he basically had to win that game for them, he threw for 289 and a touchdown. He did have the one pick right there after the half, but he played really well and had that big 18-yard run too on the 4th and 2 play, which was absolutely insane.
Yeah, Kias, where I switch computers, I don't have the option to make a clean background replacement, so I have to kind of just figure out what I'm going to do there. So it's going to take some time to get everything set back up. But like I said, I didn't want to have audio issues anymore. I was trying to avoid audio issues because obviously we want to try to capture audio. That's the most important thing. But okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do it because nobody else is, because it's been crickets. We all have a private chat that we always talk about football and things like that. And no Tennessee fan has came out of the closet. They are still in there from getting beat down. I have not even seen them. I haven't heard from them. I just wanted to know how they felt. Obviously it was probably shitty. I mean, but I just, after I remember Jordan, that was the last thing I remember. It was going. What did he say? What was the quote? Something about a belt. I can't remember. But it didn't.
Belt to ass.
Yeah, belt to ass, and it just didn't play out the way they thought it would. And the one thing that they needed was quarterback play, and he didn't play. It wasn't like it was just. It just. Ohio State's defense, and then obviously we said if they tried to run into the teeth of that defense, there's going to be a struggle. But Tennessee had been doing it all year, so we just didn't know how it's going to go. But I will say the first round was lackluster, to be safe, and it was just lackluster. And I envision it'll be like that moving forward. Maybe you'll get a couple upsets every now and then when you got two close teams playing, but it definitely wasn't any close teams playing in the first round. The second round was entertaining, I will say. But
Christopher Marlowe, I don't think anybody's counting them out. I think Freeman's done a great job with them because a lot of people, it took a long time for them to win back favor from people like us that watch football because of what happened against NIU. But when I watched them play Army and Navy, I watched both of those games pretty much start to finish. And of course those are service academies, and we've talked about how they're, limited on what they can do because of how they can get their guys. But they're big, they're strong, and they're fast, especially on defense. And that's a big deal. You're going to have to be that way. I'm not going to say that they can't win this game. They absolutely can win this game. But I mean, if I have to make a pick, I'm going to pick Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. Notre Dame's defense is fantastic, but if you haven't been paying attention, Ohio State's defense is that much better. I'm just going to tell you, if you looked across the board, every position, Ohio State is going to be more stacked at every position on defense. Now, Notre Dame could play more as a team. They have little Rudy out there rooting them on. Anything is possible. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is the team that we knew Ohio State paid for.
Yeah,
they paid for this team.
Ohio State's front seven's nasty. They're
Jack Sawyer is an absolute demon.
Yeah.
But yes.
And then you got the the former Alabama boy on the back end he's playing good football right now.
Yeah, he really is. Jack Sawyer was down to Alabama and Ohio State, so I know a little bit about Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer was always going to be a stud. Always. Yeah. going to be a stud, and he's proven that. The offense has weapon after weapon after weapon, and I do think you still have a banged up line for Ohio State. So can you get pressure? The only way you're going to win if you're Notre Dame is get pressure on Will Howard and make him make a mistake. I mean, they're not going to run the ball. They haven't been like super dominating running the ball.
No, they haven't.
Not consistently. I mean, they've had big runs, but nothing consistent.
But when you got the two receivers that Howard's got, and then like I said, Carnell Tate ended up being the leading receiver because you have to key in on those their two best receivers.
Yeah.
And then, they got a good tight end too. He ain't Tyler Warren, but he's a good tight end. But, Texas was able to get pressure on Howard and did force him to, throw the one pick that led to a touchdown for Texas. And I think it's going to be a good game. I do think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. And I love defenses. That's why Georgia has their two recent national championships, is because of the defense. I mean, and Stetson Bennett, those offenses were really good. But. Yeah,
but and I will tip my cap to the Big Ten. The SEC has absolutely proven to be frauds this bowl season. It's a down year. It's a down year.
It's not that far off. It's really not that far off. Before the semifinal, the Big Ten was 9-5 in bowl games, and the SEC was 8-6.
Oh, I know, but I'm talking about the premier teams did not show up the way they needed to. Illinois beating who did Illinois beat? It was like somebody they should have never beaten in a million years. Alabama just getting. I'm not even going to. It wasn't even Alabama losing. Alabama's defense played great. It was absolute Jalen Milroe.
I get hammered for making this comment, the day and age of college football that we're in, those bowl games are just glorified scrimmages. Basically. They don't matter.
Nobody cares.
Right. The only games that matter anymore are the playoffs. And the SEC had 3 teams to get in and went 2-3 because Texas won the first round, the second round lost to Ohio State. Georgia lost their first one. Yeah. Tennessee lost their first one. So, and the Big Ten, Penn State won 2, lost 1. Ohio State's obviously won 3 in a row. Indiana lost their only one.
Yeah.
Who's the other team that got in? Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana.
Yeah, and Big Hunt, Jalen Milroe lost to Michigan twice.
So you had Indiana, Penn State, Ohio State.
Here's the irony of that, though, is someone's like,
and Oregon.
Yeah.
Embarrassed. Yeah, I forgot they're in Big Ten now.
And the other thing, Big Hunt, you got to ask yourself is this the same team that lost to Vanderbilt in Oklahoma? So, who did Michigan beat? Who did they beat? Nobody that was worth a damn. I don't know what happened. We've just talked about Carson Beck and how he was unmotivated, lacked focus. Me and Riddle have been talking about this dueling quarterbacks to see who's the shittier one all year long. We've literally talked about this all year.
If you go to my TikTok, you made a TikTok of me going on a rant about that situation specifically. And I even said if it's a fucking issue, it doesn't need to be out there. Yeah. And obviously it was. We're finding out more now that he's transferred to Miami. And I said that as soon as he backtracked on declaring and said he was entering the portal, I told all y'all it's a lock. He's going to Miami. Yeah. And everybody's like, well, there's these suitors. I was like, fuck all that. They're just making talk with that. He's going to Miami. That's the only place he was going to go. And I think the reason he did it was because whatever agent he has told him he was not going to be a very high draft pick. And plus he's hurt. So,
he's not going to be a high draft pick.
No. So, I wish him well. But the fact that he was focused on things outside of football tells me that I was right in everything I thought this year with him, because
he ain't a man. That's all there is to know.
It's the fact. It's the fact that you go out there and you watch them play, and against the teams that they were supposed to destroy, nobody gave a damn. It was like they were just out there going through the motions, and then you got Beck over there just moping around on the sidelines like he didn't want to be there. And guys see that. And then you find out that, okay, he obviously wasn't very dedicated in practices and off the field stuff because there was a locker room issue.
Yeah.
And that's why I got so excited in the SEC championship game when Gunnar Stockton came in because you could tell the fans, the sideline, the coaches, everybody, there was just an energy that went through there. I hate that he got hurt.
Thank you for following.
But the moment that Gunnar Stockton came in that game, Georgia's whole demeanor changed, and that was the first time you'd seen it all year, and that spoke volumes. I said it on here. I've said it in messages off the podcast. That spoke volumes.
Yeah.
The way Georgia reacted to that happening.
Well, Milroe didn't get hurt, so we didn't have anybody else come in, so we went down in flames. So,
and I hate the one more thing is like I hate the spot that puts Kirby in because I honestly do think Carson Beck was the best option to win football games.
Yeah, that's a fair. It's okay to say that,
right? But on the same token, you've got a coach that knows that this is a obviously a cancer in your locker room.
Yeah,
there's disruptions with the cohesiveness of the team, and you're in a no-win situation at that point.
Yeah. Well, it had to play out organically, Riddle. That's the whole thing about it. It had to play out organically because if it didn't, like I said, you're benching a guy who we clearly saw how talented he is last year. We clearly saw that. I know, but
I still say that the two guys that are rookies in the NFL right now that are absolutely going off as rookies was the reason he looked as good as he did. He had one of the best route runners I've ever seen in Ladd McConkey.
Yep.
Who is lightning, is sneaky fast.
Yeah,
really
he is.
Truly.
He is.
And then Brock Bowers, who is a generational tight end.
Yeah, but he delivered it to him. I mean, like he was making good throws last year. He was making good throws. He was. I don't know what happened this year because this year it looked like he couldn't read the field. I don't know if he was forcing things, which is the only really explanation because I just don't believe you forget how to play football. But.
Lack of focus.
Well, that too.
Your mind's elsewhere. Lack of preparation.
Yeah, that's probably what
that goes into it.
Preparation, probably. But yeah, Milroe's going pro. He's not going to transfer. Although, as long as he's not coming back to Alabama, I wish the kid luck. He is not an NFL quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. He could go and pull a Jalen Hurts and completely prove me wrong. But I'm just going to tell you that, like, These things always play out the way they're supposed to. They always play out the way they're supposed to. And I'm just telling you, Jalen Milroe, he's had some success, but a lot of that was due, like Riddle said, to the people around him. Because we won games in spite of Milroe, not because of Milroe. We have won
Jordan,
the LSU games.
Just want to cut in before it gets lost, and then you can finish your thought. Mm-hmm. Jordan, if TikTok dies, we are on... I'll just say it. I don't even care. YouTube, Twitch. You can find us there live, and then our podcast is posted on everything that Brandon says at the end of the show. So
if it's died, you can come find us, bro. We are on Twitch at SOA_Snake Eyes. I have not changed it over as my game, and then we are Lock Loaded and Goated on YouTube. Did somebody join?
Tony Pardo.
Oh damn! I gotta fix that one now. All right, bear with me, guys.
Where's our resident Tennessee fan?
Yeah, there he is. He talking about he don't give no shits. He said he get his ass whooped just like anybody else.
Nothing anyone can say can't hurt me any worse than what I've already said.
You sound very far away on mine. Did he sound far away to you, Brandon?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I need that belt to ass comment. I need Jordan in here.
Oh, I can't wait for you to get set down and locked in, and I've got some questions for you about today's games.
Oh, well, I've been playing a lot of Madden, so if anyone wants to talk shit, catch these hands on some Madden, because I whipped that ass. Right now,
you need to
almost top 100, so.
You need to fix your audio because I can barely hear you.
He's probably got I don't know, he might have the mic pushed too far away. Or maybe... Oh, okay.
There it is.
There it is.
He'll figure that out. He'll be with us in a moment.
It's probably picking up your camera, Tony. Sometimes if you plug something in, it'll. Yeah, there it goes.
Anyways, like I said, if anyone wants to talk shit, catch these hands on some Madden.
Catch these hands.
You're still
top 100, boys.
Yeah,
you're still very, very faint. I don't think your mic's on still.
I don't. My mic's definitely on. Just turned all the way up.
God dang. We'll get it. We'll figure it out. Hey guys, bear with us. We're having the audio. Like I said, everyone's trying to come back from holidays. Anyway, Tony, don't get mad. Don't.
I appreciate you, Jordan.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Yeah, we're here,
on
bro.
We're live on the Purple right now. YouTube. That's where I always go back and watch our shows. So yeah, you can find us. You can find us everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to go to OBS, and the reason why I didn't is because this is the only way I can stream to multiple platforms, and I didn't want to lose Kias and all the people that have been here since day one. So I want to make sure that
Huckleberry said UT fans are like Cousin Eddie good.
Cousin Eddie good. We like our eggnog with a little bit of whiskey. You're right.
A little bit of whiskey. Yeah, fuck that.
Tony, I don't know what you need to do, but I literally can barely hear you.
It's not me because my mic and everything is turned up.
I can hear Riddle good though. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's very faint. It's got to be something on his end.
Check your sound settings. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, hey, whatever you just did.
I know what it was. This PS5 controller was plugged in still.
It was coming through that.
Yeah,
the mic,
dude. Yeah, all right. So, all right.
I've never done that though.
All right.
Now you can sound off on your Madden and everything else. And
yeah, like I said, if anyone wants to talk some shit, UT fan here. Catch me on Madden 25. Username's Biggie8899, I believe. Almost top 100. You can get your ass smoked on there. So.
Oh my God, you talking shit about Matt.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Y'all bear with me on TikTok. I got to get TikTok set back up. Like I said, I'm trying to get all this squared away where I switch computers. So how much do you think the exodus of talent from Bama was because of DeBoer?
A lot.
Yeah, I think his refusal to make a move with Milroe has upset people.
I mean, that even at the beginning of the year, the people that transferred out,
Oh, that was because Saban. That was because Saban wasn't there. Yeah,
most of those guys came to play for Saban, and then the ones that stayed that Saban brought in. And I'm not the Alabama expert here. This is just my outside opinion. Saban leaves and rightfully has been put into the College Football Hall of Fame. He is the GOAT. You can't argue it. But kids went to that school to play for him, and he had a great track record of sending guys to the NFL. And then
what, buddy?
You have this coach from the West Coast come in, and you I don't know. They gave him a season, and they lost 4 games for the first time in God knows how long. So
I want to say one thing before we move on. I want to just say one freaking thing. Congratulations to North Dakota State University for winning their 10th FCS national title. We don't talk about these little schools enough, but these schools produce a lot of talent, and obviously they're going to be producing a lot more talent now because they're going to be pretty much prepping all these transfers for the big leagues.
Yeah, they're like a farm system for the big dogs.
They're not JUCO, but they're not. They should honestly just go ahead and come on to Division I.
But to be honest with you, Riddle, like every school could technically be a JUCO now because even like a Vanderbilt, if you have a good player, he's going to get poached. It's going to happen. Yeah.
But there's been serious talk on that, and we'll, I'm sure, have a lengthy discussion on that now that the off season is approaching. But the avenue for these players now is it can get pretty ridiculous now if this stays the way it is with the whole JUCO thing, and then being able to go to JUCO and it not counting towards their eligibility. I mean, you could have 26, 27-year-old seniors playing college football.
So an interesting stat, you kind of touched on it, so I'll touch on it for just a second. But we talked about people leaving. There are only 2 players from the 2022 class left at Alabama. Everyone else has transferred out, and that's Ty Simpson and Jam Miller.
Andrew Allen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to let you finish.
No, I'm done. No, I'm done. Yeah.
Andrew Allen said, yeah, they almost beat Colorado. They absolutely did. That is a Division II powerhouse. And they were facing an undefeated, I can't remember who they played in that championship game, but, people were talking that, I think they were still a very, very small favorite in that game.
Yeah.
But
Aren't they?
honestly, they should just come on to Division I and go to one of the Group of 5 conferences. They would compete in those conferences, no problem.
Yeah.
It would just be like James Madison going.
Oh, yeah, they would compete. I agree.
They would absolutely compete.
I agree with that.
Because
okay.
they played some big Power 5 at the time, and now Power 4 schools the last few years, and hung with them for a while, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's a good program. I think they're ready. They may not be ready to make the leap. They may just like winning. I don't know. But James Madison has certainly set a new precedence for coming, because it used to be you didn't come over without some hiccups and bumps and bruises. And James Madison's like, okay, we got you. So anyway, sorry, Riddle, I'm trying to still get this.
Oh, no, you're good.
Y'all just bear with us.
Yeah, Montana State, they beat them by 3.
He said
FCS championship there.
He said, you guys are clueless. Stop.
Well, I don't know what he was referring to there, but
yeah, what we clueless about?
I just overlooked it because
I don't know what we're clueless about.
I don't even know what he was referring to.
But yeah, I'm excited that it's the off season. Usually I'm very excited about the season, but I was very much ready for this season to be over.
Well, we still got one more game.
Yeah, well, you guys got one more game. I've taken a hiatus because I have not been thrilled about football. I mean, just everything that happened at the end of the season, like I said, I just absolutely let's see here.
Well, you're not amped for the Irish and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So I want to say this, and I'm excited about No More Milroe, yes, but I want to say this. And I was looking this up, and I've been pondering this. So we looked it up, and there's been a lot of debate on this, but so Big Ten, I did not realize the Big Ten makes anywhere from 80 to 100 million per team per year from just TV contracts. The SEC average TV contract payout per year is 50 million. Do you realize we were that far behind the Big Ten?
Talking about
I'm
per
not
team?
surprised.
Per team.
I'm
We're that far behind.
That.
And here's the crazy thing. I went and pulled up all of the ratings for the year. I am not talking about playoffs. So leave the playoffs out. SEC is a joke. I mean, well, we got enough titles. I mean, they're a joke. They may be a joke, in a game or two, but we got enough titles,
1 year SEC is a joke. All right, cool.
Crush a small elephant. But I mean, anyway, long story short, basically I was sitting there trying to look at the ratings. Top 5 matchups were all SEC. There was only one game in the top 5, one game, and it was a big one. It was Ohio State, Michigan, and that was 3rd. Georgia, Texas owned both the top 2 spots. Georgia, Alabama was 4th, and it was another SEC game that was sitting there in 5th. And it's like, how in the hell are we not making any better money than that? Because we have, like, if you go back and look over the course of history, we always have the ratings. SEC always owns in ratings.
Ohio State, the Big Ten has big name schools up there. You can't discredit that. And
no, they do.
But they're money drawing schools, especially in the North, and now they've expanded out to the West. I mean, the SEC is the SEC. We're still down there in our own little
Doesn't matter
section.
what you guys say, we're still gonna be there. We'll be there next year.
Oh yeah, we'll always be there.
And the thing is the market in these regions. I mean, the Big Ten football is just like the SEC up north. If you go up north, it's all about the Big Ten. It's the same thing. It just depends on where you're from.
Yeah, they say it's about media markets. Like they have a lot of densely populated areas. So, but
And
yes,
think about the populations in some of those major cities up north. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
we don't have a lot of those down here.
No, yeah. I guess my point was it is crazy to think though, because we do draw the ratings, even if even if you have the Alabama syndrome and you just watch because you hate us. That's a thing. We all know it's a thing. They hate Georgia. They hate Alabama. They hate winners. We hate Ohio State. They're a good team. They're a good program. I'll say this. I'd rather Ohio State win this title than Notre Dame, but I can't root for the Golden Domers. I don't know why. I'm still working on this, Riddle. I don't know what I got to do. Here's Tony. Window capture. Okay. All right. Yeah. Y'all just keep going. So Tony, most exciting thing. I want to know what the most exciting thing for you is this off season. And then Riddle will go to you.
Well, I found some good whiskey.
Oh shit!
The last couple of weeks.
Damn, I was referring to football, Tony.
Oh, football. Oh, that hasn't been much exciting.
Oh shit!
Just been, I mean, Tennessee was
God
able
damn
to
it.
keep a couple recruits. A couple of their own players. So that was that made me happy enough. Boo Carter and Matthews coming back. So
Where did Squirrel White go?
Oh, that Doug.
Florida State.
He went to Florida State.
Did he not watch enough of that this year? I mean, God damn.
The best thing that I saw on the Squirrel White thing, and I showed this to Tony at work that day. I found it. It said Squirrel White just left a dumpster fire and ran straight into a burning building.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, Tennessee look they look really good this year. I know we love to hate.
Did,
I love to hate on them, but
yeah.
you know, I mean,
but you know what I've been saying
fan.
though, and it's like one of those things. I felt like Tennessee could win in Columbus, but there's always that feeling back in my mind where Heupel still hasn't really been able to win on the road. And as soon as Ohio State just came out swinging and scored that damn touchdown pretty much off the rip, Tennessee didn't respond. It's kind of a bad feeling, like the same shit's going to happen that I've watched with Heupel over the last three. Well, I'll give him a slide the first year, but the last 3 years, you know, where there was possible title implications, obviously didn't happen. And then this was the moment where he could have put his name on something, stamp like, "Hey, I can win on the road," and still didn't do it. So,
yeah, I mean,
so really nothing for me to be excited. There's nothing been exciting about besides Tennessee retaining Matthews and Boo Carter.
Okay,
be honest about it.
And I'm throwing out questions hypothetically. Is Tim Banks going anywhere?
God, I hope so, because it's that same shit defense every time they play against, a pretty decent team on the road. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it's like. The team looks totally different comparing to what you watch during the regular season. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like the moment just gets too big for him, and he gets too conservative. You know. I don't know. It wasn't the same defense. I take it back. This year, Tennessee got away with a lot of games where they were able to just, drop back, send 4 because they were able to get pressure against teams that were obviously not as talented. But then they did struggle against teams that were just as talented, or like Ohio State, obviously a better, and they got exposed. You can't just drop back. You can't just drop back and hope to God James Pierce can get a sack or a pressure every fucking play. So that's why I feel like Tim Banks doesn't know how to at times run a defense, because he doesn't make any change or anything. It's kind of like Steve Spagnuolo in the NFL. He runs a basic, pretty much 4-3 defense. He drops back everyone and relies solely on his line, to get pressure. But if you don't have the talent, like that, especially going against teams with as much talent as
TikTok
you or more, then you're gonna have to change it up a little bit. And I feel like Tim Banks does that shit all the time, and defense just looks like they've never played defense in their life. Offense, obviously, Heupel's got to find him a real coordinator, and if he doesn't do that, then I expect more of this bullshit. Been watching now for the last 2 seasons in Knoxville. So
Yeah, but what happened to Heupel's offense? What happened to it? I mean, that's his bread and butter.
Well, I mean, obviously this year he was relying on Samson. Samson got hurt after his second carry. Didn't really come back except I remember him catching one ball.
Yeah.
Like I think it might have been third quarter, and that was it. Offensive lines stank ass against Ohio State.
But-
Well, Nico had to run 20 damn times.
Ohio State.
That was stupid.
We said their defense was good, man.
Oh yeah, Jack
Sawyer.
Jack,
He's
Jack Sawyer
as
He's
good as
ridiculous.
anybody. He's as good as anybody in the country.
He's a fucking animal. Just like I watched that game today, or not today, but last night. You know that strip sack he had on Ewers. You know he just pretty much said, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it," and ended it right there.
And he did it.
But yeah, he's been like that like all year. I mean, obviously we knew Ohio State had a good defense.
Oh yeah.
It's just come to a point in time where they're gonna put everything together, and right now, so far they have. I mean, they put it together. They've looked like the team they should look like all year, and all these Ohio State fans shouldn't be mad when they were getting made fun of during the season because you guys, I mean, at times didn't look very good. So
Yeah, that's how I opened it, Tony. I said, "Where has this Ohio State been all season?"
Yeah, if they opened up like that all year, played the way they're supposed to, no one's talking shit.
Dude, if they played like they played in the playoffs all year, we're talking about this could be one of the greatest teams of all time.
Oh yeah, very
I mean,
well could have been.
If
It's
they
not going to
played,
be. I don't care what they try to say. It's not going to be. But if they win it, I mean, they're going a really good team, really great team, but not one of the all times.
The bad thing for Ohio State is even if they win the national title, they're still going to have that loss to Michigan.
Yeah, they're still going to have it, and and I know they'll be playing for the championship. Michigan's obviously not, and I know Ohio State fans will throw that Michigan fans' face. Whatever, still lost to them. I get it. Obviously, when the championship, you're not going to care. So,
yeah,
you can't, Alex. You can't tell me as an Ohio State fan that a natty will erase that loss. That's still going to piss you off. That you lost four straight to them.
I see what Alex is saying. Championship's going to make everything a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, it will help.
But come next year, final game of the season
Tony,
against Michigan.
Tony just fucked me up, dude. Tony fucked me up with these lights, dude. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, Kimberly's turning the lights off back here.
She said she's probably trying to signal you. That's the bat signal.
She's about to hop on Fortnite.
So anyway, I will say this, and I want to beat Tennessee worse than anything in the world, but if I win a national title, I could give a damn less if I beat Tennessee. If I win a national title, normally if I lose to Tennessee, I ain't gonna have a sniff in the prayer in the national title game. But
South Carolina allegedly a top SEC team can compete in the weakest SEC ever. Well, Beamer's the head coach, so you really can't. He's not a good coach, anyways. I don't care how well Frank Sellers been playing for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Beamer's still the coach, so it's like one of those things you don't know what you're getting with the Gamecocks week in, week out. They got a pretty good defense, offense kind of spotty. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Hey, Alabama knows about that, Alex.
About what?
He said if losing to your rival results in a natty, sign me up every year.
Yeah, I'd do it too. I would too, but I'd still want them to obviously come next year. I'm still gonna be thinking about the game from the season before, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to, and you better hope they fucking win.
So
it probably won't matter for Ohio State because they won the championship. But whatever.
let's get into the nitty gritty. Who you picking for the national title and why? It can be short. I know we've touched on it pretty much all night, so we're gonna try to. I've got the three amigos set up now. I think it looks good. It's back to normal. We can hear everything. We're not echoing like me and Riddle aren't saying the same things 40 times. So, Riddle, who do you got? Who do you got winning the national title? Why? And I'll sit here and listen.
Yeah, I touched on this when it was just me and you, and I have no problem saying it again. Before the Michigan game, I told you that if I had to pick a national champion, it'd be Ohio State at that point. That Michigan loss made me question things, but obviously the path that they've had in this playoff so far has just reaffirmed what I already thought. I think the difference in this game, both defenses are great. Just throw that out there again. I think both of these defenses are really good. I think Notre Dame's defense is good enough to hang with Ohio State. The difference is I think Ohio State's offense is better. And that, I'm telling you, that front seven for Ohio State is nasty. They really are. And they're going to give Leonard problems. And obviously Notre Dame could win. Both of these teams had a bad loss during the year, but the way Ohio State's playing, you got to give me Ohio State.
I will tell you this though, Riddle, just to comment on you. Riley Leonard, I like Riley Leonard better than Will Howard. If you said apples to apples, oranges to oranges, you had the same receivers on both sides. I like Riley Leonard. Will Howard is good though. He's good. He's just not, I don't know. But I like Marcus Freeman as a coach better than Ryan Day.
I'll give that too.
I mean, I don't know why. The guy is likable. The guy is a winner. I mean, he's taken Notre Dame from the trash can to the pinnacle. He's going to play in the national title game. And if he had Ryan Day's team, I think it's safe to say, I mean, they'd probably be the favorite.
He's the reason why I would be very almost pick the side of Notre Dame, just himself. Talking about Marcus Freeman. As a coach, it seems like he pushes the right buttons at the right time all the time. Some coaches have it, some don't. He's one of those that apparently does have it. And before I make my pick, I was apologize to Notre Dame and Penn State, actually, when it comes to their defenses. Obviously, their defenses. Hell, we've said it all year though that the defenses, that's their thing. Didn't think they would make it too far into these playoffs, but
defenses win championships.
Hey, I was gonna say I should have known better though, because that's something I've always gone by. Defenses can they can carry the load, especially in a playoff game. But going into this game, I think you had obviously Notre Dame. They're gonna ride that defense. I mean, that's what they're gonna do, and they're gonna be gritty as hell in offense. So it's gonna be one of those games for them where, just picking up first downs here and there, keep the clock moving, all that. Obviously, they can't get in a shootout with Ohio State. If they allow Ohio State to come out and just punch them mouth off the rip, it's gonna be tough for them to come back. Now, I'm not saying they can't, because they can. I don't think they can be like Tennessee, go down like 14-0 off the rip, first two possessions. I think if it gets to that point, it's probably over. And I know a lot of people, and we got Alex in here, who's obviously he's a Buckeye fan. He's for sure saying that they're going to win. And I'm leaning, obviously, I'm going to pick Ohio State just because both sides of the ball. Ultra talented, both sides of the ball. They should win it. But
you made Celtics fan look like an idiot.
I mean, Alex tried to say we're Big Ten haters.
He said we were haters.
I don't hate the Big Ten. I love college football. I love watching good football. Ohio State plays good football. That's why I'm picking them in this game.
Yeah.
They have talent on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And but the fact of the matter is since 2006, there's been 18 AP national champions. They've all come east of the Mississippi, and 13 of them are from the SEC.
Yeah, and
Facts are facts.
Yeah, go to the Big Ten, and like Riddle said, throughout that span, who was the teams to win championships from that era? Obviously, we know that answer. Ohio State, what? They did it
2014 and 2002.
And Michigan did.
And Michigan.
2002 was before the 2006.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not being Big Ten haters. It's just for a lot of these years, it's just, hell, I used to call them the slow 10 because, I mean, you just watch the game. It's slow. It's boring.
It's a different brand of football.
It is. It's different.
I mean, so let's just call it what it is. Paying players has paid off, and they have talent up there at Ohio State. They have the best talent money can buy. They can say whatever they want to say. They have the number one roster as far as talent, and they got the number one roster as far as salary this year. But they're winning. So I said it at the start of the show. That is the standard now. If people do not follow suit, if people don't follow suit, they will never beat the Ohio States. They will never beat these guys because you have to spend money to win these games. I mean, I'm just going to say everyone has bought player. Everyone, that's not true, D. So everyone is paying NIL players. No one is paying them above market price except for these big teams. Alabama doesn't pay over fair market value for a player. So that's just the way it is. So it's easy to say everyone, but you know, Ohio State went and got Caleb Downs and paid absolutely premium price tag. But anyway, I'm picking Ohio State too. I'm picking Ohio State. So the haters sitting at the table, party of three, all picked Ohio State. All picked Ohio State, and Celtics fan over there looking.
But I did say though, I really do like Marcus Freeman. You know, like I say, he's one of those coaches that pushes the right buttons, the right times. He's a really good a manager of the game. Like Ron Day, nothing against him. I don't think he's that great. I think you put him on Notre Dame, he's probably one and done in the playoffs. It's just like that. What? So Freeman and Freeman's an Ohio State guy too. I think he played.
D, do you know
Ohio State with Laurinaitis and that's way back?
D, do you know anything about football, or you just come on here just trying to troll? I'm asking,
but
I mean, you know.
I just there are two cool storylines for me being the stat guy that I am. You know, Notre Dame hasn't won a national title since '88.
Yep.
So I mean, obviously that's a cool story if they were to do it. And Ohio State, they would win the inaugural 14 playoff and the inaugural 12-team playoff if they win. So,
and I tell you
cool little storylines there going into it.
Golden for Notre Dame, man. I tell you what, he looks goofy as hell on the sideline with those thick ass glasses, but that man can call a fucking game when it comes to defense.
Yeah, he gets the job done.
I wish he was Tennessee's coordinator. I'll tell you that.
So
he's aggressive, and I like it.
D said Bama is ass without Saban. So 9-4 is not ass. Let's just stop that right now. There's teams that wish they were 9-4. Is that Bama standard? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But Nick Saban was the greatest to do it of all time. No one thought we'd be back after Bear Bryant passed away, and here we are. I mean,
listen, a lot of these people in chat know damn well if Nick Saban's still coaching Bama Crimson Tide, they're shaking in their boots right now. So just calm down.
That was worse.
This is
2007, Alex.
Since Saban's first year.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah, that is correct.
And that was the year LSU won the title.
But you got to remember, though. I mean, Saban had a rough year too. It's not comparable, but I just want everyone to know 25 people in the transfer portal this year, 27 last year. That's almost 2 starting rosters worth of players that have transferred out of Alabama. Like Riddle said, there's players that came here to play for a coach. He left, he retired, he did it the right way, and they left. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be tough, though.
The right tackle didn't block Sawyer. Well, guess what? That falls on Ewers then, I guess, for not recognizing or some blocking scheme there. There was something happened there, if that's the case. But hey, obviously, it is what it is. Captain Jack still got that strip sack and returned it to the house. So
yeah, he's good. He's
now he matters.
Jack Sawyer is an absolute stud. Absolute stud.
You know, they said I guess he was recruited as a tight end too.
No,
he was recruited as a tight. Yeah, he was. I read
that. Alabama and Ohio State were in the running for him, and everyone was drooling over him playing the jack linebacker or in the 4-3 defensive end.
But he was a tight end though. He was a tight end.
He played. Yeah, he played both ways. He was an he could easily be a tight end, and I don't want to say like. But he probably would have been a really highly recruited tight end too. So I don't want to sit there and compare him to anybody, but
I'm surprised they don't throw him in some just some random plays. Like if they get down towards the goal line, put him in there in like a tight end spot.
Yeah, dude.
They should. If Ron Day was that creative, I would. I mean, I bet Marcus Freeman would.
Yeah.
But Marcus Freeman's a different animal. So.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman.
That's not Ron Day's thing.
Marcus Freeman's great. I don't know why I like. Is that Adam Sandler in the top box?
Yeah, I've heard that many times.
Oh man, Alex.
I think he used to be my profile picture on MySpace back in the day too. So.
Yeah, he was Adam Sandler when he was in the what was the one where he had the plastic surgery? Oh, Just Go With It. Yeah. the big nose there.
The big schnoz.
Do either one of y'all know when Ohio State's last national championship was before 2002 season?
It was Woody Hayes. It was like 74 or something like that. I know
74 and 75, 74, and 73 were unclaimed.
Oh.
But their last national championship before 2002 was 1970.
God dang.
Hey, Big Hunt, don't make me open up that can of whoop ass now. That's what White Boy did. Come on now.
He'll drink that special water.
Yeah, it is brown H2O.
Oh man, yeah. So in all seriousness, yeah. So all of our teams are sitting at home. Ohio State is playing. So congratulations to you guys, the Ohio State fans. We've been there. We've done it. We've got T-shirts. But I know you guys have too, and I know you want another one. So I wish you all the best because, like I said, I'd rather Ohio State win than Notre Dame. So,
I mean,
that's just being honest.
This is a big year for the Big Ten. If you look at it from the east of the Mississippi national champions since 2006, if Ohio State were to win this one, it'll give them the same amount of national titles as the ACC. So. Good luck to the Big Ten.
Damn, that was Florida State. Shit.
And
Clemson. So, Kias wants to know what brand of H2O did you find?
Oh, you want to know? Well, I found some Blanton's Gold store pick.
Oh yes,
some Knob Creek 12 and some Sazerac Rye store pick. Picked up some of that new what's it called? It's a new Buffalo Trace benchmark. Yeah, the foolproof.
Oh yeah, I got that. I found that the foolproof was lackluster.
Just made me laugh in the comments.
I picked up a bottle of Penelope today. It's the Architect, I believe. What it is?
Oh, okay.
Very fruity.
Yeah, you too, Celtics.
It's got a fruity flavor to it, and it lasts a long time on your tongue. And of course, well, I'd have to take my camera off and show around in the cabinet. There's too much to go around.
Alex, let me find this. I'd save this picture. Here they are. Yeah, the ACC this year in bowl games went 2-11.
Yeah, so
they are what they are.
So Alex, we said that going in. We said how terrible the ACC was when they were doing when we were actually looking at the playoffs. Yeah, I know he was, but like it's funny how a joke is so true in terms of how bad they really are. I know you're referring how bad they are. They're really terrible right now. Like they're go ahead.
I was just going to say I'll give Alex the benefit of the doubt on this year, but saying the SEC is dead. You know, I said it earlier. The Big Ten went 9-5 in bowl games. The SEC went 8-6. Now, head to head, the Big Ten did win more. Yeah, head to head with the SEC. So
that's the first time
I'll give them the nod there. But yeah, so
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. In this day and age, it would not surprise me if the Big Ten or SEC picked up another couple schools from the ACC. The ACC is one or two big programs leaving that conference for them dropping to the Group of Five. One or two
almost
big programs.
That's good.
I mean, like if you lost Miami and Florida State, for instance, and all you had left was Clemson, that's a Group of Five. I mean, that's a Group of Five. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, Miami dominated the Big East for years, and there was absolutely nobody in there to even compete with them.
I think we can all agree that there's two powerhouse conferences.
Oh yeah, and I think we're heading further and further and further. We've talked about it before on this show. We're heading further and further towards getting to that Big Ten SEC rival, and we're just going to have a two conference league, and that's who we'll just play each other all the time. It'll be like the NFL.
Be fun.
Oh, it would be because
it would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun because then it would be big game after big game, bragging rights. I think you would really truly be getting a good quality element of football. I mean, instead of what we saw, like I said, we all knew the first round of the playoffs are going to be kind of, but it is what it is. He said, "Let's go Irish." Well, they got a shot.
Speaking of shots, I'm,
I'm
going
not
to go
gonna say
make
they
some
don't
Ohio
either.
State and Notre Dame flavored shots. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm definitely not gonna say Notre Dame doesn't have a shot because I mean
They
their
do have a
defense is
shot.
really good. And as long as they play that clock control type of game,
Yeah.
they can keep themselves in it and until the end and make it maybe a possession game. Now obviously they can't do what Texas did and have a couple huge turnovers in the game, especially the last one with strip sack, and
Yeah.
expect to hang in there. So
Well, the one.
Marcus, go ahead.
Yeah, the tried and true, same thing Jordan's always said is defense and running game travels. And so Notre Dame does that. Ohio State is definitely a more complete team overall. I wish Ohio State's running game was a little bit more dominant. I know their O-line's banged up a little bit, but they do seem to be gelling on the O-line. But Notre Dame has a puncher's chance. I mean, a puncher's chance. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Ohio State is definitely favored. Ohio State definitely looks like they are the team to beat, but
Yeah.
And
it's hard to, always just pick the favorite. Obviously, Ohio State, even in our eyes, they are the favorite to win this game. But there's been games in the past where I thought, like Texas and USC, for example, way back. I thought USC, I mean, you got Leonard Bush, Lindell White. Your defense was loaded as well. I know Texas had Vince Young and a few other players. Not what USC had. Still pull something like that out. And I know that was a different game, different era. But I'm not going to say Notre Dame cannot. I'm not going to say they're going to get blown out either. And someone said Ohio State wins by 14. Hell, that's even tough to say that. If I was going to bet, I'd probably bet the under on 14. Yeah,
that's a big spread. I mean, that's a big
little
spread.
Crazy. Because Notre Dame's defense is that good. Just by watching, and Ohio State's defense is really fucking good.
Thank you for following Ohio, Jimmy.
So it's I just think defenses are going to carry both of these teams, and I think it's going to be it's probably going to come down to about the last two possessions of the game, if I had to guess.
So Andrew says, who has the best turnaround next year, Bama, Georgia, or Tennessee? I'm going to tell you the truth. These guys aren't going to tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. The truth is two of the teams were in the playoffs. So that's all you can ask for. All you can ask for is to get to the playoffs. Georgia won the SEC. They can't ask for anything else. They had their shot. They didn't make it. When we talk about turnaround, the biggest turnaround next year in terms of best, it's either going to be Bama or it's going to be, like I said, it's probably going to be Bama one way or the other in terms of best or worst, but it'd be Bama. I think Georgia and Tennessee are going to stay right where they're at, and they'll be a competing force in the SEC, and they will also be competing for a playoff spot. So right now, Alabama has a lot to do, but I think Milroe moving on is a huge step in the right direction for Alabama to get back on track. People you cannot underestimate his ability to just completely shit on a game.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad because the past 2 years, Milroe has single-handedly won the LSU game. Single-handedly won the LSU game. But a stat that I've been on this very show and I've talked about. This guy went from the Tennessee game all the way to the Michigan game without throwing a touchdown. That's what? I mean, what? Look at the teams he played. Went from the Tennessee game all the way to the freaking Michigan Bowl game and did not throw a touchdown. That's our quarterback, man. That's the quarterback and we talked about it, he had the locker room. There was a little, he made it a little easier. His run game was obviously a weapon that, people wanted to utilize, and it helped as we transitioned to a new offensive scheme. But God bless, man. You talk about an up and down guy. You all should be very, very thankful that you do have solid QBs. Even if they're not the best QBs, even if they're not somebody, this guy, there's nobody that was more of a roller coaster this year than Jalen Milroe. Nobody.
Yep.
I mean, and Ohio, Jimmy, we did lose Saban, but we still finished third in recruiting. It's not like we fell off the face of the earth. It's just, it's just, we're still Alabama. It's just, you
The
know,
name's
not
gonna
the
bring in
same.
players themselves. It's just
Yeah.
gonna come down to
But-
coaching,
but-
obviously.
But like that guy was saying earlier, Bama pays players. I didn't say they didn't pay players. Certain programs don't pay players above.
yeah, you guys
the
got
market value.
for 'em,
Yes.
and that's it.
That's it. We don't go and say, all right, we had quite a few players leave because they wanted to test the waters, and they came back and told us what other schools were offering them. Notre Dame's got one of them. And the guy that they picked up for almost $1 million, he's not worth 500,000. I mean, if we're just being honest.
There's a lot of Buckeyes fans in here saying it's gonna be a blowout. Y'all need to calm down. Just calm down. Like I don't want you guys to get your hopes up, and then something bad happens. Then
Yeah.
you're gonna be saying fire Dade the next day. Okay.
They ain't firing Day, man.
I know, but you know what I'm saying, because they was literally saying fuck Ryan Day and fire Ryan Day
After the
after they
Michigan
lost
game.
Michigan.
Yeah, I know,
Calm
dude.
down.
I freaking love it, dude. You talk about a roller coaster.
Like just have fun with this. This week and enjoy it and
Yeah.
get drunk, have a good time watching the game. Unless you're going to the game, don't get too drunk or you get escorted out of the stadium.
Ask him
'Cause I
how he
know
knows.
what's up about that. But yeah, hell, you guys are the favorites. I mean, everyone knows Ohio State's favorites, but
Yeah.
just don't get too over your head over heels here
Trail,
with these predictions.
Trail, you asked the question. You said, did Georgia reload on receivers? Well, they got the Branch brothers from USC. So you're talking about as good of he wasn't considered the number one in the portal, but he probably should have been, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Oh,
So
Lord.
so yes, Georgia is going to be fun.
I tried to talk some sense to Billy.
Oh man,
He's not having it.
it's all right, man. Yeah, what about Mbakwe? So, Kias, I don't think Mbakwe held DeBoer's throat. I think what Mbakwe did, he entered the portal because he wasn't going to see playing time. So you got Zay Mincy, you got Zabian Brown. Now he probably knew that Damani Jackson was coming back. So we're now loaded on the defense because a lot of seniors came back. This is the first time. People don't realize this. I'm going to wait for Riddle to sit back down. I'm going to wait for Riddle's back. So I'm going to give this stat and then I'll turn. This is the first time since before Nick Saban that Alabama is going to have 14 senior starters. We never one time under Saban had 14 senior starters. We had so many people come back this year. This is the first time since before Saban that we'll have 14 seniors starting on the starting line, but a lot of them are on defense. So defense is going to be good, and I think Mbakwe saw that and he wanted to get on offense. If we're being honest, yeah, Marcus Freeman should absolutely be considered for Coach of the Year. I don't think he got it. I think Cignetti got it right. I think Cignetti got it. I can't remember. But for Freeman did a hell of a job. I mean, if you said hindsight looking back now, knowing that if you said Freeman has one loss and he takes Notre Dame to the national title game, I'd give it to him.
I think Kias asked earlier what the whiskey was I was drinking. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Oh hell, this is what I had in my glass. That was the Evan Williams 10-year. It's a white label. Usually you get a $750.
Oh, Freeman got it.
For
Okay.
like $18. You can get about a 1.75 for usually about 28.32, somewhere in there. So if you can find that as a daily, that would be a solid one to go with. Evan Williams 10-year bottle, 100 proof. By the way,
Yeah, Cignetti won the Associated Press College Football Coach of the Year.
I thought he did. So here's the deal: Freeman. Absolutely. You're not going to sit here and hear. I will not say a bad word about Freeman. I think he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. I think he's a hell of a coach. I have no issues with him. I will tell you this, though. Cignetti and what he's done at Indiana is absolutely amazing. It's more amazing than Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a program that's it kind of sells itself. The name sells itself. Indiana,
they haven't won a national title since '88.
Indiana is not, and they've probably never won one. But Cignetti's, but both of them are really good. Clark Lee won SEC Coach of the Year. Well, I mean, I mean Vanderbilt actually, Plus, there wasn't anyone else to really give it to. I mean, honestly, like Riddle said earlier, Georgia was just kind of off their mark this year. Bama wasn't good. I mean, Tennessee was off there. Nobody really just took up and said, "I'm the best team in the SEC." So.
We found out, like I said earlier, when we first got started, we found out a lot about behind the scenes stuff with Georgia the last couple of days and
I want to know
issues in the locker room.
Yeah. I want to know. Oh, he said we're collapsing right now. Bama B-ball. Oh man, gotta pull that up. Yeah, I want to know what the underlying issue was for Milroe, Brittle. Yours just came out in the wash,
right?
Mine hasn't yet. But
waiting for Tony to get back, and then I want to know if Alex is still in here, and some Notre Dame fans before I do these shots for their teams that I made.
Okay, so before Tony gets back, guys, I want to say something to everybody that is here. So Derrick Henry in the first round of the playoffs has 169 yards rushing and 7.7 yards per carry, and this is the same guy that Tony said is washed up. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say it before he got back. I know me and Riddle have already preached on this, but
what were you saying?
I said. Somebody's over there got 169 yards rushing a playoff game and averaging 7.7 yards a carry, and he's washed. He's washed.
Washed as fuck. Washed.
Kia said, "Hold the shot, Riddle. He's going to get one." So
okay.
But yeah,
I got two of them.
Yeah. So in all seriousness, though, like, congrats to Derrick Henry because I think a lot of people thought he was washed, and he honestly. He's not.
Washed, Andrew. Come on, Andrew.
Tony,
get on the same page.
I told Riddle before you got on here, I said, if you're telling me that it made sense for Tennessee to get rid of him, yes, I will agree.
Well, yeah, and I'll say this, and I talk shit about a lot of my teams and players on it, and I'm not saying he's actually washed. I'm saying it because he went to the Ravens and fuck the Ravens.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could, that
fucking washed.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Fuck the Ravens.
How y'all feel about? No, I mean, it is what it is.
To touch on that. Can't win them every year, but 13 out of 18 ain't bad.
Jordan.
Now, Riddle, you start to sound like me now. I mean, so
it's impossible. It's especially, and you're going to see it a lot more moving forward. The parity.
That's
in college
right, Andrew.
football. We talked about it all year.
That's not right.
You have free agency. You had free agency now with the transfer portal.
Yep.
Players are getting paid. They're going to go to the money. You're going to see more parity, and I'm here for it. I mean, I love the fact that Georgia won 2 national titles. I got footballs commemorating both of them, but that's the one thing I wanted. They hadn't won since 1980. I know how Ohio State felt in 2002. I've been there, lived it. You just want to see your team win a national championship. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, you got Ohio Jimmy's and he's in the same corner as me. Fuck the Ravens. Right. Fuck.
Let me know when Kias gets back. I only have
Kias. Kias. So he said he's ready now.
Okay, AJ, I'm gonna hit this real quick. I'm not surprised. I know he declared for the draft and then backtracked. I knew immediately where he was going. Then it came out that there was some locker room issues. He was kind of a cancer this year for Georgia. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out on that because his mind was elsewhere. There's actually TikToks on my TikTok and Brandon's TikTok of me specifically going on a tangent about that specific thing. But the way that Georgia played for Gunnar Stockton, I'm fine with him transferring. Absolutely fine with it.
Big Hunt with the stat of the night. Tennessee's coming up on 30 years since the last natty.
And SEC championship.
You're not wrong. Hey, thank you for realizing we're coming up. I appreciate that.
All right, so just real quick, I haven't seen Alex comment in a while. I hope he's still here. But I'm gonna do my Notre Dame shot first. Nice and green and sparkly. I could have done a gold one for the Golden Domers, but I figured the green would be better. So.
This motherfucker is going to be. He's going to be shitting through a damn screen door.
Yeah. Nah, you gotta go green because Irish is green. Pinch Irish me, I'm Irish. Right. If you're not wearing green, you're pinch.
This is for all y'all Notre Dame fans out there. Good luck in the natty.
AJ, you said is Ewers transferring. or is he draft worthy? So the rumor is he is going to transfer. I have a fun stat. I'll wait till Riddle gets done with Ohio State shot on this, but
Okay.
go
Let
ahead.
me go ahead and knock that out real quick.
Yeah.
So here's your red and white for your Ohio State here.
That's pink.
No, it's red and white. So this one's for all you Ohio State fans, and my pick to win the national championship.
There you go. And that's to a great season on Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We actually made it through a whole season. That's amazing. Riddle. Oh, anyway, here is my interesting stat. So this is why I think Ewers is transferring. Carson Beck is scheduled to make $4 million next year at Miami. Jaden Daniels will be on year 2 in his NFL contract and is only scheduled to make under $800,000. If that's not some bullshit, because Jaden Daniels is 14 times the quarterback that Carson Beck is.
Heisman winner, can
So
do anything.
Riddle's
everything.
back. Riddle, you missed my stat. It's a good one. I think it's going to be enlightening for you. Carson Beck going to Miami for $4 million. He's scheduled to make $4 million next year, and this is why he's going to Miami. Jaden Daniels is scheduled to make less than $800,000 in his second year, and I'm going to say it. He is 10 times the quarterback that Carson Beck is.
Oh, for sure.
10 times the quarterback. It's absolutely travesty.
It doesn't matter. Ohio State could have offered $10 million.
Yeah.
Oregon could have offered $10 million. All those other schools that these reporters and stuff were trying to throw into the mix, it didn't matter. It didn't matter about the money in this situation. He's coming back for 2 reasons. One, his girlfriend's there.
He's a cook.
And 2, he got hurt, and he's not even going to be able to start throwing again until spring.
Yeah.
So his draft stock fell this year, and then he wouldn't even be able to go out there and show anything.
Yeah.
So he's coming back to try to have a good year in
He needs to.
lesser conference.
Absolutely.
And improve his draft stock. And he gets to do it with his girlfriend there because she plays basketball.
So Big Hunt, you bring up a very interesting thing. I have heard the same rumor you have is Ewers has been offered big money by several big schools to go play there. That is considered tampering because he is not in the transfer portal. And LSU is the first team to be called out on tampering directly. Most coaches, you'll hear them say things, on the press conferences. People are coming after my players. They've never. So LSU has done it, and it wouldn't surprise me if other schools have not doing it too. So unless they forget the free agency, the transfer portal, forget the NIL, if you don't stop people from poaching kids, if you do nothing else, just stop that. If they want to enter the portal, that's fine, dude. That's fine. There is nothing but you should not be able to go to a school and absolutely try to recruit somebody from another school. That should not be happening.
Yeah, because it's pretty much like free agency, and it's same thing in professional sports. There is such thing as tampering, and hell, teams get fined or even punished in some way or another. So, I mean, if anything, NCAA could, well, I don't know if they wanted to or give a fuck one, but they could actually try to crack down on that if they really wanted to.
So here's a question from the chat, and I'd like to hear y'all's take. I actually mentioned on it earlier, and I'll go over it again, but Ohio Jimmy said, if college football players making money, should it be mandatory to play in the bowl game?
If you're making money, yeah.
Okay, so
I feel like it.
hold
If you're
on.
making money by the school, you need to show up.
Are you asking me? If you're asking me, if you're asking me, I think they should play no matter what. I don't care if they're making nothing. I mean, you committed to this team. What the hell's wrong with you?
But the only players that play out or that lay out of those bowl games are the ones that have a definitive future in the NFL. And
I want to ask you.
I'm more towards the no side on that.
Yeah.
And here's why. And we spoke on it earlier. Those bowl games are glorified scrimmages. They do not matter anymore.
So
used to
bowl games
matter.
Oh, I was talking about playoffs. Bowl games, whatever.
Just bowl games. The playoffs, yes, but bowl games. They don't matter anymore. They're glorified scrimmages.
I'm going to ask you this, and this is what I want. I'm going to put this. I'm going to paint it as illustrative as I can. Dooley Bryant, and Nealon are sitting at a table somewhere.
Which Dooley?
The good one. What do you think?
not
What do you think?
Tennessee.
What do you think their answer would be to this question?
Absolutely.
I mean, so they're the forefathers of football, and
But bowl
especially
games mattered back then.
not really. They didn't even. You couldn't even crown a title.
But
You know what I mean?
if
They
they're
were-
making
But
money.
you could. But you could. I mean, back then, if one outlet, one media outlet named you national champion, you could claim it. So
Yeah.
back then, those bowl games did matter.
But they were still always awarded before. I mean, they were awarded before the bowl games usually.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
But
but
not always. Like 80,
Yeah.
80, Georgia, had to win their bowl game to be the national champion.
I'm just asking. Like, those are like Mount Rushmore college football coaches, guys, for our teams. And they set. I don't know. I just look at it and I say, I feel like we've let them down. I feel like we've let them down,
You say
man.
you commit, you play it out to the end.
I
I take back what I said. Now, if you are getting paid especially a substantial amount of money, you should be playing bowl game or playoff game regardless. And like Jordan mentioned earlier, it should be contractual as well.
we every one of us want contracts because then it's going to be really interesting because
Hell, they can do a year to year probably. I give a fuck. At
Yeah.
least you finish that year.
yeah,
Now you
and
want to leave after that and be done.
Big Hunt, Dan Jackson, he was a walk-on with a chip on his shoulder, and he gave Georgia everything he had. And he is a damn good dog because of it. I love that guy.
I'm saying that guy right there is a man. He had a commitment. He honored it, and he's well, I would say future generations benefited from him. I'm assuming his kids obviously did, but I think we've lost that now. Our generations have kind of gotten. Commitment is a rare thing, gentlemen. It's a rare thing. So Trail said, will Keelan Russell battle? He'll battle. I don't think he'll get it, though. I think Ty Simpson will take the reins. I think he's waited his turn. And I think he'll be more of like Mac Jones than what you realize. Everybody forgets Mac Jones, the Auburn game previously. He threw 2 pick sixes when he came in for Tua, and everyone thought he was the worst thing since sliced bread. But when you've been in a program for 3 years, playing against Alabama's defense or Georgia's defense or Tennessee's defense, you kind of get a feel for the speed of the game, and he'll be better than what people think. So. Anyway, yeah, Riddle's taking shots, Tony's drinking, and I'm not. This is crazy world we're living in.
Sad.
Crazy world we're living in.
Sad.
I just took the shots for the
Yeah.
the two teams that are
But
playing for the Natty. So
what do you guys think about Riley? I like Riley Leonard.
I don't.
Okay, so takeaway this year, and this is what they were all talking about this, the Ohio State fans, and this is what I want to ask you. So Riley Leonard last year played for Duke.
Mhm.
Will Howard for Kansas State. Which one looked better last year before they had all this talent around them?
Well,
I mean, because I'm gonna tell you who I didn't think Will Howard looked great. Will Howard ran the ball. Him and Riley Leonard are almost clones because they ran the ball very well.
But I think Will Howard throws the ball better than Riley.
And that's fine. He just said, "What do you think about Riley Leonard?" I like him. I'm not saying I dislike Will Howard.
It was red and white. It wasn't pink.
Yeah. I like Riley Leonard's moxie, if you want to say that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is to me, but I just
someone was saying he had a very punchable face the other day.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
That was me.
Oh, Riley Leonard has a punchable face.
Very, very punchable face. Oh man, every time I see him.
God dang, dude. What's wrong with you?
I felt like I was on Step Brothers.
It's probably because he schooled Georgia like Stetson Bennett's ugly, sorry ass school Tennessee.
That's what happened. Okay,
So,
yeah.
Now you know the fucking feeling.
If it had been,
Leonard played Georgia one time.
Some
and he
guy,
didn't do
some
shit.
guy who comes off smug and shit, and
Yeah.
he's not that great talent wise, but he just makes those plays. Yeah, that's
He
annoying.
didn't do anything against Georgia.
Exactly, I understand. You see what I'm saying about Stetson Bennett though? When it comes to
Stetson
Tennessee,
Bennett actually balled out. You cannot even make that comparison.
Actually, the last season, he wasn't looking too good, and all of a sudden plays against Tennessee, and he just looks like fucking, I don't know, Peyton Manning just darting shit down the field.
4,000 yards.
Yeah, oh my god. I'm talking the last season. What week was this when they played? Right, so Tennessee and Georgia. What week was this? 2 years ago. This is the Hendon Hooker year.
Hey, Kia said, "Shut the hell up and take a drink." He's going to take a shot with you.
I'd have to go make another one.
Oh no, you're good. He said Tony. He said he's tired of Tony fucking yapping. Thank you for following Mad Max.
Look at this bottle right here.
Oh man, that's
that's a pretty one.
Tell me you got too much money without telling me you got too much money.
Hey, no, MSRP. I literally gave MSRP for this. As long as I bundled it with Knob Creek 12-year, got for MSRP and Sazerac Rye.
What is that? 150? 150 though?
134.
Okay.
Big Hunt.
This is a gold.
I'll give you Tony.
Yeah, I know.
But my rotator cuff's fucked up, so might be an L.
What
You
is
put
it?
me back there.
What is
He
it?
said, with the talent OSU has on offense, you could put Riddle or Tony at quarterback, and it's a W.
Oh yeah, I'm chucking that shit up.
Jimmy, I'm telling
As
you,
soon as I snapped.
either that or you throw a damn no yard screen pass and let those wide receivers make plays. I mean,
Like I'm not even looking. I'm gonna be doing this. Like I'm dunking at the free throw line.
Who was
throwing
that?
that shit up?
Who was that basketball player who used to do that? Was that D Brown? Used to do like the hand over the eyes dunk.
Yeah, he did do it.
Oh my God! So
That's how I'm throwing that football to them.
All right, so
Ohio
Tony-
State wide receivers.
Oh, hang on. Where the fuck did it go?
where did it go?
Let's see. Get back to it.
Hey, they was talking that mad mess about Alabama, but damn it, if they didn't come back and beat them at Texas A&M, if they didn't come back and beat them, baby, let's go. Alabama's basketball looks good. Tennessee's basketball looks good too, even though you had a loss. They look good. No ill will against them. They look really good. And I
Bennett
actually,
only threw for 257 against Tennessee in 2022.
yeah, but it's not about what he threw for me. It's just when he he literally was like a dog wiping his ass on the face of Tennessee fans. That's what he was doing, like just
He
crawling
threw
across
for-
the carpet.
He threw for 368 against Oregon that year.
Yeah, I remember
Threw
that.
for
I remember that game.
274 in the SEC championship game. Of course, he didn't play all that.
Yeah,
game.
it helps too when your DBs decide, they don't want to turn around and look for the ball either. It's awesome
Threw
watching
for-
that shit.
Threw for 398 against Ohio State.
It depends on how you look at it, Jimmy. But yeah, that just all depends on how you look at it. AP, I mean, there's some.
Only about 6 that matter.
There's a lot of claimed in there.
Yeah,
A lot of claim. There's some
Only
legit
about,
ones.
only about
Obviously, over
6
the
that
last
matter. Just
15,
like Georgia
20
only
years.
has like 2 that matter in this day and age.
I know, because really, like, we didn't live through those times, so I only think about what I remember.
well,
Alabama had one in the 90s, I believe.
92.
Yeah.
That was a defense. That was a nasty defense.
Was that your favorite player's year? Was he on that team?
That was David Palmer. The Deuce. The Deuce was loose. The Deuce was. I remember when he played Tennessee, he caught the ball. This dude's 170 pounds and just running over linebackers.
That was Gene Stallings, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Gene Stallings.
Yeah.
Gene Stallings was absolutely. I'm gonna tell you that you talk about one of the greatest coaches, not in terms of winning, but as a human being, one of the greatest coaches. His son had I don't even know what it's called.
Some type of syndrome. Or
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, dude, he gave so much money to help research and he had like play groups for his son. And I mean, it was just, I don't know. He was just a really good guy. And that's what made me really start, not that, but those teams is what made me start liking Alabama. And I started watching Alabama when I was 1990, and they were good, but they weren't like what you think is Alabama good. They were, 9-3, 8-4. But then they finally turned it around and they beat that Miami team that nobody could beat. That's what they said. Nobody could beat them. But we've all heard that before. We heard it in 2002 when Miami got beat by Ohio State. We heard it when USC got beat by Texas. I mean, that just shit happens. Now it could be Notre Dame's turn. I mean, we've heard
well,
it.
the difference
would be
is
kinda
I
cool.
don't think anybody's counting Notre Dame out of this game.
No, we're not
I'm
for sure.
not.
We're
Obviously,
not.
we're taking Ohio State, but I'm not going to say that they're just going
I'm
to run
telling
away
you,
with it.
I'm telling you right now, if Notre Dame's defense can force a couple turnovers and have one that goes like the Ohio State sack fumble for a touchdown, if they have one defensive touchdown, that would change the whole complexion of this game. I just don't know
Hell.
if they have enough offense to stay in the game.
Hell, it doesn't even
So-
have to be that type of turn. It can be a turnover, just somewhere
Deep in the
any
zone like against
side
Georgia.
in Ohio State side,
So
Well, I mean, that's
turnover, two turnovers.
the only offensive touchdown they had against Georgia was right there before the half on the strip sack fumble recovery, and then the very next play was a touchdown. It was a 13-yard touchdown.
all right.
So I mean, it's possible.
Mad Max, opinion on the Branch brothers going to Georgia. So I said this earlier. The Branch brothers, Zachariah Branch is probably the number one transfer in the transfer portal. The number one. This dude is elite.
So my buddy Chump, he's a huge USC fan, and I talked to him about these guys because he watches every USC game. The receiver Branch, he said, is legit. Like
he's legit.
He's everything he's cracked up to be. The safety is very good, has all the talent in the world, but hasn't stayed healthy. So
Yeah.
that's a big question mark with him. Is if he can stay healthy, he could be an impact guy, but can he stay healthy?
And I'll say this, Damani.
Alex, you missed. Oh, Alex is back real quick.
yeah.
Alex, I took a shot for Ohio State earlier. You missed it. It was
Oh, he
red
came
and
back
white,
to
not
remind
pink.
us.
Yeah. But
He's a
so
milkman because I haven't seen him.
Damani Jackson came from USC, and basically they said how bad he was. He's so bad at USC. So he was a 5-star talent, out of this world talent. He quietly had one of the best seasons for any player at Alabama, and he's coming back for his senior year. The guy was absolutely shut down. All those deep balls you watched Alabama get torched on, none of them were on him this year. He is a very good defense, and I think the other Branch brother that's going to be playing on defense is really going to benefit from being in Kirby's system.
Safety. Yeah.
Yes, I think he's really going to benefit.
Big Hunt, Noah Thomas coming to UGA. I think that could be a good get. It could turn out to be like a Dominic Lovett type of situation. I don't think it will. I would love to see him come in and be an impact guy because we need him, especially in the wide receiver room. So we did get Dylan Bell's brother from Vandy too. So we actually have 2 sets of brothers on the team next year. But Dylan Bell's brother, he's an athlete. I don't really know what he's going to be doing yet. But yeah, Noah Thomas from A&M. That was a good get for Georgia as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good ones. Like I said, we've touched on some of the transfers and things. Like I was very excited for Isaiah Horton to leave Miami and commit to Bama. He is from my hometown in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, so that's a huge W. And then we picked up a running back. Alabama picked up a running back from Louisiana, Draylon.
Alex Davis. This motherfucker is in the chat doing the Pat McAfee pick from the SEC championship game 2 years ago.
What's that coming down the track?
That's what he did. And he did the whole thing. He's like, go dogs, go dogs, go dogs. Sick 'em. Ooh, 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 ooh.
And then,
Give me Alabama.
I mean,
that's all it is, baby. It's all it is.
It's all love, man. That's all. Yeah, we're good with it, man. We can take it. We
definitely take it.
If there's anybody on this platform that can take it, I can assure you it's these guys. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, guys.
I mean
Go
Tony's
ahead.
a Tennessee fan, so
Yeah, he's
You
been.
can't say anything to me bother me. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I promise.
I would give a description to what Tony's sorrows have been like, but it might get us kicked off TikTok again. So.
Yes.
Anyway, let's say your opinion on Pauling and Malachi Fields going to Notre Dame. Will Pauling and Malachi Fields. I didn't see those, Mad Max. Obviously, we don't.
Malachi is a wide receiver from Virginia. I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you,
49 receptions for 746 yards and 4 touchdowns. But I mean, that's at Virginia. So
yeah.
Will Pauling. I don't.
And so I'm gonna say this, Mad Max. I will say this: Notre Dame they're definitely throwing their name around in the NIL circles. They are one of the teams. So we had a guy on our team last year, Devontae Smith, who split time starting at the nickel position. Pauling's from Wisconsin.
Yep,
Notre Dame paid Devontae Smith $800,000 to transfer to Notre Dame. He actually borderline $1 million. He had told Alabama all he needed was $800,000 to stay, and we told him we hope he loves South Bend. The guy's not worth $500,000. He's just not. He's one of the ones we just talked about how one guy didn't get burned. He's one of the ones that got burnt quite often, and he got pulled. Riddle, you had your DB that got pulled all the time because he got burnt.
Well, he only got pulled once.
Yeah,
and once he got pulled, he never went back in.
This is one of the guys that got pulled because he got burnt. So Notre Dame is trying to go out there and grab players and trying to build that team up. And hey, kudos to them, man, because I will say this, there is something about being coached by good coaches, and that does translate well. Like Devontae Smith was coached for 3 years by Nick Saban. You can't put a price on that. I mean, just like you wouldn't be able to put Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Julian Humphrey was the corner that he has talent. He was a 4-star recruit coming in. Has tremendous talent, but in the Alabama game especially, he was the one that gave up the last pass there to Williams. Ended up winning the game for y'all. He was always out of position. If they were throwing at him, he never turned his head to find the football. And then in the Tennessee game, he was the one that took that pass interference there on their first drive for not turning his head and finding the football. And Kirby pulled him, and then he got butt hurt and entered the portal. So,
yeah, I mean, so what's your opinion on Ellis Robinson? Isn't he? Is he gonna? Is that who it is? Yeah, that's the big recruit y'all got last year, right? Was it Ellis Robinson, the 5th or some shit?
Yeah, 4th, I believe.
4th, because he was the best DB in the country when he came out, the best. And I remember because he was teammates with Des Ricks, and Des Ricks left early, came to Alabama. He was considering Georgia, Alabama, all those schools. Came to Alabama. Saban left. He went to Texas A&M, I believe, and didn't even start. But I'm just curious because, like, when you see these big name talents like Ellis Robinson, Des Ricks, and they don't start right away, it's like how long are they going to stay? Because at Georgia, there's DBs coming out the wazoo. Let's just call it what it is. There's DBs coming out the wazoo.
You got talent everywhere.
Yeah, and it ain't gonna go away. I mean, it's gonna
Kirby, I will say this about Kirby: outside of a few quarterbacks through the years, the best player will end up on the field. So if he has the talent, which we know he does, but if he develops into what he needs to be at the collegiate level, then he will be an impact guy. I mean, look at Malachi Starks, which
he's going to be a first round pick.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys that come in and make a instant impact. So,
and I don't even think he had his best year this year. I thought if he would have came out last year, he would have been even better. But I don't even know if he could come out last year. I'll be honest with you.
I don't think he could. I think this was his junior year. He had to play this year.
But he definitely played better last year. But he had more talent around him. I don't know. But just saying. So Ohio, Jimmy, you said who do we want to win the national title? I'll just stay straight up. I don't want.
I know Brandon don't care.
I don't want Notre Dame. I don't want Notre Dame to win.
If
that's me.
So,
well, I think because even the Michael Jordan of choking James Franklin brought up in front of Freeman's face, about the conference thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's really about the only thing. I mean, besides all the other things, over the years, Notre Dame, just their name being there just because of their name, they're in games just because of their name and shit like that.
They haven't won a title since '88, so I mean, if
I tell you right now, I'm not really pulling for either one, honestly. I'm not pulling for either one. I like change. I like to see a new team win. I know you're probably an Ohio State fan. I do think Ohio State will win. I'm not saying that Notre Dame can't win. That's all I'm gonna say. because I'm not trying to put a foot in my mouth here. 'Cause, I've done
Mad
that a few
Max.
times.
Mad Max.
That's funny as hell.
I wish Jordan was on tonight, Mad Max. He's a Colts fan.
He's a big
Thanks,
Colts
kids.
fan.
big Colts
Oh.
fan.
Colts said,
I'm sure.
I see
I'm
you,
sure he
Tony.
would like to have Malachi Starks.
Yeah, that's right.
Kia says, do you want to make a bet? All right, Kia, what's the bet? Let's hear it.
Yeah, Jordan's not here to take your bet tonight.
Yeah, the bet king.
No,
He's
Kia
the bet
Kia
king.
just said, do I want to make a bet? So I'm assuming he's thinking Notre Dame's going to win.
It has been a while for y'all, Alex. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, it hasn't been
Wow.
1998 while, but yeah, it's been a while.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
1980 before 2021.
Yeah, even before, yeah.
All right, he said Notre Dame beats Ohio State. Kia, what are the stakes?
What did he say?
He said
What's the
He said
stakes?
he thinks Notre Dame beats Ohio State.
I mean, it's not a bad pick. I mean, what's the stakes though?
Yeah, I know.
Probably we got to buy him a drink. I think Jordan owes him about 5 by now.
Yeah,
Jordan knows already.
Al-
so.
Alex, Ohio State in 2020, you ran into a buzzsaw, buddy. there was no, just like y'all's team is loaded with talent. That year we were stocked full of talent. It was everywhere. And
If I'm being honest, 2022 y'all could have won too if your kicker.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't too big for your kicker.
Yeah, if he didn't shit his pants, piss
God,
his
he
pants,
shit so bad.
he
Oh my
fucked that
lord.
one up.
There's actually a TikTok out there of my reaction to that moment on a Ring doorbell camera. So
Kias, what are the stakes, man? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, what's the stakes? What are you talking about?
It's okay. You talking about Ezekiel Elliott? 2014.
yeah.
Me and Ritter were talking about that the other day because hell, I couldn't remember because all I could think of was Cordero Jones during that time. Hell,
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Because he
I
came
totally
in the Big
forgot.
Ten
Yeah.
championship.
So think about that. That was another.
Elliott was on that team.
That was another award-winning quarterback, Blake Sims, Milroe 2.0.
Well, the crazy thing is Michael Thomas was also on that. Ohio
Yeah,
State.
see, you don't think of that. Like,
Yeah,
I
Ohio
forget
State
all
was
about it.
chocked full of talent that
They
year.
had players. They
Absolutely.
had players.
But yeah,
Well, the crazy thing is they lose their quarterback. They lose their top 2 quarterbacks, and Cardell Jones comes in and wins in his
Yeah.
3 starts the Big Ten championship, beats Alabama, and then a national championship. That's a great 3-game stretch.
yeah, and you want to? I'll buy you a drink when you come down for A-Day, and I'll give you some subs.
Where's Kia from?
Okay, I buy you a drink. Okay, Kias, here's the deal. So I will bet you that you buy me a drink and I get one of your Bama shirts. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll make the bet. I got Ohio State. I should be down for A-Day. That should happen.
are we doing spread? Because I can look that
No.
spread up real quick.
No.
No, straight up. I
It's
believe.
straight up, man. It's straight up. Because either way, we both win, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. Jordan owes you so many drinks now that you probably get drunk for free. But
So here's the crazy thing. Have any of y'all looked at the line for the national championship game?
No, I have not. What's the
It
line
is-
right now?
It is the second largest spread,
Oh,
I
God.
but of the playoffs.
I don't like that. For
is
Ohio
it
State.
bigger than the Georgia TCU spread?
Probably not.
That was
Ohio State is a 9.5-point favorite.
That's a big. That's a big spread.
That
It
is
is
a big
big.
spread.
It
But-
is big. And I'll
College
say,
football
yeah,
is different.
Yeah.
It could happen. I could see it happening more in college
yeah, I
football
can see it
than
happening.
than I could like in the NFL. NFL
Yeah.
that would be too much to overcome. But
Like you can see that happen. You can see Notre Dame losing. You also see them losing by a field goal or I don't know hell 6
Hell,
points.
Alex coming in with some fire towards those Notre Dame fans right here.
What he said. Notre Dame.
He said Notre Dame is the Buckeyes' weakest opponent in the playoffs so far. How will it be close?
that's
It's not-
that's not crazy. I will
No,
say
I mean it's not really because but it's just weird. It's weird because on paper, like most likely they are the weakest opponent that Ohio State is going to face, but that's why they play the game though.
Yeah.
And they
well, there's people out there that would make the argument that Tennessee was.
well,
Well, if we're gonna do that, we might as well make the argument that Oregon was, because hell, they got beat the worst.
Oh, my God.
The Oregon game was over in the first half. It was over in the second quarter.
That was an
Tony were
absolute.
actually watching. Me and Tony were actually watching that one
Yeah,
together, and
I was
once
like,
it got
what
to
the fuck?
34-0, we started
It's worse than
playing card
Tennessee
games.
game. Holy shit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
stopped watching that game. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. There's no point in it.
Alex is looking at spreads. Yeah, I could see that out. Yeah, I can see it. But
But no, that Oregon Ohio State game was literally over in like mid second quarter. Like that was, you knew it was over.
yeah,
That was it was what 34-0 a half.
yeah.
Trash.
I mean, yeah. So with that said, we're gonna wrap up for the
It's
evening.
34-8 at the
Yeah.
half.
Oh my bad. They got garbage time. Garbage time type of score.
So
Ohio State laid back. Let them have it.
thank you guys for sticking with us. Those that did. Kias, as always, thank you. We are Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We are here every Wednesday and Saturday night. Thank you for bearing with us while we fix our audio issues and all the stuff. We're just getting back over the holidays and it's been rough. We do have a podcast. We're on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. It's Lock, Loaded, and Goated. Like I said, we're here every Wednesday, Saturday evening at 8:30. So if you guys liked what you heard, we do this all the time. We're going to try to do some stuff in the off season, talk some college basketball, talk some recruiting, talk just best ever teams, things like that. So we're going to do some hypotheticals, things like that. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun this off season. It won't be as entertaining as the season though, because obviously those losses really kept people churned and fired up. But if you like what you heard, please come back, like, subscribe, do all that good noise. That way you can find us. So with that said, we will see you all next week.